Every time you encounter a Pokémon, there is a small chance that it has an unusual color. These rare Pokémon are called shiny Pokémon, and it can take hours, days or weeks to catch just one of them, depending on the game you are playing and the method you are using. I want to catch every shiny Pokémon in the game they originally appeared in. While hunting shinies, you repeat the same steps over and over again. So what do you do when you have a time-consuming but not very complicated task? You build a robot to do it for you. This robot is designed to hunt shiny Pokémon 24/7 with as little human interaction as possible. This version specifically breeds eggs in second generation Pokémon games. By using a shiny Pokémon as one of the breeding partners, for example a shiny Ditto, you can bring the odds to 1 out of 64. Despite the high odds, it still takes many hours to breed a single shiny Pokémon. I also made a dashboard to visualize the robot's status and progress in the shiny hunt. At the bottom left part of the screen you see an outside view on the robot while it is doing its job. At the top left you can see exactly what the bot is seeing and evaluating in order to take the correct actions. Next to that we can take a peek into the decision-making process of the algorithm running behind it. And on the bottom right you see a few statistics that get collected along the way. So, how does all of this work? I use a perfectly normal Nintendo console, 2DS XL in this case. Hard and software are completely unmodified, so the bot can only do the same things a human player could. No cheating or custom firmware allowed. The bot can see the screen with a little camera and push the buttons with little motors. The motors are connected with a PCA 9685 driver chip, which in return is connected to a Raspberry Pi, same as the little camera. A Raspberry Pi is a small computer, which has special interfaces that let me connect things like the servo motors and the camera to it. It evaluates the images it reads from the camera and sends signals to the motors. The mount for the motors as well as the pushing mechanism is designed and 3D printed by me. I'm not very confident about the pushing mechanism, there must be a better way of doing this, so if you can think of a better system with which little servo motors can push buttons, please let me know in the comments below. Let me show you what the algorithm looks at and what decisions it has to make. To identify what is going on the screen, every frame is processed in a specific way. I used the free image processing library OpenCV for that task. First, the raw image is converted into a binary image. Next, we let a contour finding algorithm run over the image and find the DS screen, which has to have a certain area and circumference. The part of the image with the DS screen is cut into 10x9 tiles, because that is quite a good representation of the position of objects on the screen in this game. By looking at specific tiles and comparing the resulting pixels to a pre-saved image, the bot can decide what action to take. For example, during the biking up phase, the bot has to know when the top of the town is reached to start the biking down phase. It looks at a specific tile on the screen and compares it to a pre-saved image of the door of the uppermost building in the town. If the pixels match up well enough, indicated by this number being bigger than 50, the bot will release the up button and press down the down button to start the biking down phase. A lot of these kind of checks are stringed together. While biking down, the bot stops as soon as the route sign disappears from the screen. Then the boy in front of the daycare is located and the player is positioned right above him. From this position, you can easily check if the old man is standing outside to determine if an egg is ready to be picked up. If so, the sign in front of the daycare is used to align the player and enter the building. Most of the time we have to deposit one or more party members before we pick up the egg. This is also the time where the shiny status is checked. The bot opens the box, checks the party members for hatched Pokémon and looks at the top right corner to see if the shiny symbol is visible. If that is not the case, the Pokémon is deposited in the box. After that we need to leave the building to pick up the egg. The position of the grandma is used to align the player in front of the door. After the egg is picked up, we enter and leave the building again, use the position of the sign to set us up, get on the bike and start the biking up phase again. Every time we take a step, an egg can hatch. If that happens, the current action is interrupted and resumed once the hatching process is done. This is the most sketchy and unpredictable part about the hatching process, so it is definitely possible that the robot gets hung up because of that. 10 frames per second are being processed live like this, so the reaction speed is quite high. The image transformations are robust against small displacements of the camera, so the camera doesn't have to be perfectly aligned, as I demonstrate here by moving the camera a bit. As mentioned before, I want to catch every single available shiny Pokemon in the game it originally appeared in. This means that breeding is not the only method I will have to automate in the second generation games. If you enjoyed this video, please press the thumbs up button below and subscribe to this channel to find out what the next iteration of the Pokemon Shiny hunting robot will be able to offer. For this hunt, after almost 70 hours and 372 non-shiny Pokemon, the robot finally found a shiny Wooper. Thanks for watching.